Yeah, Mustafa, I guess others are taking time to join, so we'll just start the class, right? Okay. So, what were we doing in the last class? Did we complete the lesson square and square roots? Let me
Uh,
check.
we have to start estimation.
We have to start.
Estimation.
Estimation isn't there in this lesson.
It's in my textbook, I think.
You don't have NCERT textbook, right?
No.
Okay. No problem. We'll just quickly complete this lesson and then we'll move to that one. So in today's class, we will have to discuss this lesson, this topic that see we did those type of questions like find whether the given number is a perfect square or not, and if not, then find then which number is a perfect square. Those type of questions we studied. So we were solving those type of questions with the help of prime factorization method. Now we will learn how to solve those questions with the help of division method. Right. So let's suppose the question says find the least number added to 1300 so as to get a perfect square. Okay, Harmeen is also there. Harmeen, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Harmeen, please put on your camera. Okay, so Harmeen, we have just started with a new topic. So now we'll be doing some other type of questions which deals with like the first question says find the least number or that needs to be added to 1300 so as to get a perfect square number. Right. So first we'll have to check is 1300 a perfect square or not. So what you will do, you use the division method for this question. Earlier for the same question we were using prime factorization method if you remember. Right. Now for this exercise we'll be using division method. So first you find the square root of 1300 by the division method. What do you get? So you will pair up 0 and 13. So 13 is not a perfect square. The number lower than 13 that's a perfect square is
9.
9. So you get 3 into 3 gives you 9. Right? When you subtract, you get 4. Now you carry 0 and 0. You double this digit. Now what am I supposed to write over here?
0. No, ma'am. No.
Think. You might not get exactly 400. So what should I write over here? Nobody knows? Let's try to check with 5. 65 into 5 gives me what? 325. Let's check with 6 also. Yeah, 396 is the perfect answer. So 66 into 6 gives me 396. So what are you left with?
4.
What are you
4.
left with? 4. Now tell me one thing. That is 1300 a perfect square or not?
No, ma'am.
No, it's not a perfect square. So what do we see? That see 36. What is that means? The number that is the closest perfect square to 1300 is the square of 36. So first let's find what is the square of 36. Find the square of 36 and tell me. 36 into 36 you do.
Ma'am, 216.
216. And Mustafa? Mustafa, are you there in the class?
Yes, ma'am. I was getting my notebook.
Okay, see, 36 into 36, you will do the square. Parveen, we get 1296.
Okay.
You did not do this step. You didn't do this step. You just multiplied with
Yes,
6.
ma'am.
36 square means 36 into 36. Now you see that means the number that is the closest perfect square to 1300 is 1296. Right. Now what you will do, you will find the difference between 1300 and 1296. So when we subtract 1300 minus 1296, what do you get? No, no, wait. Children, wait. I made a mistake. One, I'm sorry. You don't have to find the square of 36. You find the, see, you have 36 square will give you 1296. So if the question was which number must you subtract? Okay, if the question was which number you must subtract, then what you'll do, you'll find the square of 36. So you get 1296 and then you subtract it from 1300 and you get 4 as your answer. So you will say that we will subtract 4. Right, but here the question was not subtract. Here the question was which number you should add. Okay, so when the question is about addition, what do? The number that is there in the question, you add one number to it. Okay, so 36 is there. So now you will find the square of not 36 but 37. Right, so you do 37 into 37. You get 1369. Okay, now how much is 1369 greater than 1300? By 69.
69.
Right. So what you must add? You must add 69 to 1300 to get the correct answer. See, I'll explain you again what was the question. The question was find the least number that must be added to 1300 so as to get a perfect square. Right, that means 1300 is not a perfect square. What we will do, we will first solve we will do the division method for 1300 and we see that we are getting a remainder 4 and a question 36. Right. Now I clearly know that 36 square is lower than 1300. So what I'll do, I'll take one greater number, the successor of 36 I'll take and I will square the successor and then whatever I get my answer as, I find the difference for it and between 1300 and then the answer is my, like I get 69. So 69 is the number that I must add to 1300. Understood? Please tell me children, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Harmin, you don't understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll practice more questions of these types for further clarification. We have the next question. Find the least number that must be subtracted from 5607 so as to get a perfect square. Okay, and also find the square root of the perfect square. So, what do we have to do? Again, I will do the division method for 5607. I make pairs, right? So, what will I do over here now? I have 56 and 07. So is 56 a perfect square?
No, ma'am.
No.
Yeah, then which number lower than 56 is a perfect square?
7 7 49.
Yeah. Harmeen, what about your answer?
Yes, ma'am. 49.
49 only. So 49 you have 7 into 7 gives you 49. So what's your answer now? When you subtract 56 minus 49 you get 7. Right, now you will carry 0, 7. You write 14 over here. Now which number you must write here? You should write 6. Okay. So when you multiply 146 with 6, you get 876. Okay, that's a greater number. You cannot write 6. Let's check for 5. 145 multiplied with 5. Okay. Again, you're getting a greater answer. So 4 we will take. 144 into 4. 576. Okay. So when you subtract, you get 1 over here. 131. So which number we must subtract? We must subtract 131 from 5607 to get a perfect square. So when I subtract, what am I getting? Get 5476. Can you now find out the under root of 5476?
Yes, ma'am.
Find out the under root of 5476. Solved. Children, shall we discuss now?
No, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, let's wait for Hermine. Arvind, if you're finding difficulty, so please look on the board now, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So see, first of all, you have the number 76.
After after doubling the number, I'm having like how to divide this? What to
No
divide
problem.
with 14 to get 576?
Okay, so you have 54 first, so you'll write 7 into 7 gives you 49. You get what answer? You get 5.
5.
Carry this, you get 14. Now you must write some number over here. Now think of a number whose square shall give you 6. So which are the numbers, Harmeet? Whose square gives you 6?
2 and 3 gives
So
6.
2
Then
square gives you 4. 3 square gives you 9. The square of the
yeah,
number should give you 6 at units place.
in this place 6 into 6.
Exactly, that gives you 6 and one more number.
One
4
more is
square.
4 into 4.
So either you can take 6 or you can take 4. Let's start with 4. So when I have 144 into 4, what does it gives me?
4.
576. You get 0. So what's your answer now? Under root of 5476 gives you 74.
74.
Clear? Mustafa, are you also getting the same thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we come to so now just focus upon these things that whenever the question is given to you, find the least number that must be subtracted. So what you do, you subtract the remainder only. But when the question is what number must be added, so what you'll do, you'll take the question, you'll add 1 to it, you find the square of that number, and then you subtract it from this given number. Right? Will you remember these 2 points? Children, please tell me, will you remember these 2 points? We'll practice more questions based on them. So it says find the least number that must be added to get a perfect square. So question 1 is 1750 and question 2 is 1825. Okay. So one question you both will do. Now Harmeen, you can do the first one and Mustafa, you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
do second one. So I'll give you 5 minutes, both of you. Do your questions, then we'll discuss. Okay, children, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're stuck at any point, feel free to ask. We'll start discussion from that point onwards.
Yes, ma'am.
Children, have you completed?
No, ma'am. I'm doing the step after the double.
Okay. Mustafa, you?
Oh, ma'am, I'm doing.
Ma'am,
Yes. Completed?
no, ma'am. I'm again stuck in the step of doubling it. Like at the
Okay.
last, I get 150 after subtracting it, and then I'm not able to find out
Okay, no problem.
what number
Look here.
should be multiplied by 8
See, you
to
have the
get.
number 1750. You do the division method. You square it. So
Yeah,
first you will take 4.
less than, yeah, 16.
You get 150 here.
150.
So here you get
Then
8.
double it 8.
Okay. Now you know 82. See, 81 into 81 will give me 81 MB. So 82 into 2, what does it give me? 2 into 2 gives you 4. 2 into 8 gives you 16. 164. That's giving you a bigger number. So that means I
Yeah,
have to take 81 only. So take 81 into 81. That gives you 81.
yeah.
Right? So what do you get? When you subtract it, you get a 9 over here, 6 over here. So you're getting 16 again. So now the question is, which number you must add? So what was the procedure for finding such kind of numbers? You take the question, you take 41, you add one number to it. You take the successor of 41, so that's 42. You find the, and then you have to perform this step. See, required number 42 square minus, what is the number? 1750. Okay, so what is 42 square now?
Um, so,
You get 1764 minus 1750. Just subtract it. So you will get 14. So your answer is 14. Right? You must add 14 to 1750
yes,
to get a perfect square number. Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what about Mustafa?
Ma'am, I was stuck where you have to find the required number.
Okay, let's solve your question as well. 1825.
No, ma'am, I understand it.
Now done?
No, ma'am, I'm solving it.
Okay, you can tell me whatever you have done. You have 1825. So first what you will do? Armin, now you can look at the solution also.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. You take,
You take pairs and then 4 for 16,
okay, 4 into 4 gives you 16. You have 2.
then 225, and then you take 2.
83. Yeah, that will give you a bigger number.
Yes, ma'am.
You get 164, you get 1 over here, 6 over here. You have 61. So what is your required number?
42 square.
42 square minus 1825. So what is 42 square? We just found 42 square, 1764. No, no, wait. 43 square. Okay.
Okay.
So you get 1849. Okay, so 49 minus 25, 26 you get. No, no, 24 you get. So 24 is your required answer. So do you want to copy these solutions or solved?
solved, ma'am. Done.
Done. Any doubt in these two questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now we come to the next thing.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir, may.
but in required number, why do we, in the first step, no, in the second one, in required number, why do we wrote 43 square instead of 42?
See, we have to take the successor of this number. Here also I took the successor. Here it
Yeah,
was 41, so I took 42. Here it's 42, so I'll take 43.
yeah.
Okay. So we come to the next one. Now the question is, find the least number which must be subtracted from each to get a perfect square. Okay, subtraction questions are much easier because you don't have to do that additional step. You just have to subtract the remainder. So the first one is 1989 and second one is 3250. Okay, so children start doing them. Again, first you Harmeen will do and second one Mustafa will do.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Alright. So we have, what about Harmeet?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we'll solve one by one. First one is 1989. So again, you do the division method for 1989, and first number is 19. So you get 4 into 4 gives you 60. 3,
3,
you get 89. You get 8.
get
Now what
8.
number we must write here? What number can we write? See, Harmeen, if you get stuck in these type of questions, see, when
Yeah,
the number is a perfect square, what we were doing, we were looking at the units place, right? You were
yeah.
looking at 9. But so if this question was like find the square root of this number, so what would I have done? I've looked at 9 and I'll find, okay, now 7 into 7 gives me 49, 3 into 3 gives me um, 9. So either one of them can be my answer.
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
but now I know that I cannot get this entire answer. Why? Because it's not a perfect square number. So I cannot look at 9. Right, now what I'm supposed to do? You look at 8 and you look at the first number. It's 389. Now you just recall the table of 8 and you know like 8 into 2 gives me 16. So your answer will be one somewhere near 160. 8 into 3 gives me 24. So it will be in the line of 200. 8 into 4 gives me 32. Right, so it can be somewhere near. So let's check for 8 into 4. 84 into 4. Right, what does it give you? You get 336. See, you're getting a very close answer. Let's also check
Yeah.
for 85. You're getting a bigger answer. So no. What's your correct answer? 84 into 4. So now do you
Yeah.
understand what trick will you apply over here?
Yes, ma'am.
You get 336. You get 3. Get 5. 53. So what's your required answer? Required answer is 53. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now Mustafa, tell me for 3250.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We make there.
Okay, 32 and 50
And closest square number to 32 is 25.
is 25. Okay, so you get 5 into 5 gives you 25. And what are
And
you left with?
7.
50 and 10.
750. Now 107 into 7.
I see now, Harvin, look here. What we did here also.
Yes.
My number was 10. Right. So what
Yeah.
will I do? I will just recall the table of 10 and I want to get a number near 700s in the line of 700. So you know 10 into 7 is 700. Right. So that is why we will take 7. So 107
Yeah.
into 7 gives you.
749.
So what's your answer? 1. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So now we move to the next one. Okay, now we come to square of decimal numbers we did, I guess. Did we do decimal numbers in
Yes,
last
ma'am.
class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll just come to some word problem questions. Now your question says, find the length of the side of a square whose area is 441 meters. Right. Now you know your area is 441 meters square. What is the formula for area of a square?
Side into side.
Side
Yeah,
into
so we
side.
know area is equals to side into side. That means side square, right? The square of the side. So that means if area is equals to side square, so if I need to find the side, I need to do the under root of area. will give me the dimension of side. Now area is given to me. What is the area? 441. So under root of 441 will give me the side of the square. Right? That is what I have to find. Do you understand the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Both of you? Okay, so find the under root of 441. Children, please note this. I'll be right back in 1 minute. Okay. All right. So, what is your answer?
21.
21. And Harmeet?
Yes, ma'am.
21 only? Good.
Yes.
21 meter shall give you the side, is the side of the square. Now we have two more word problems, three more actually, but I also want to discuss the estimation method, like estimating the square root. So we'll first study that, then those word problems we can practice later. So now the topic is estimating square roots. Right. So in this topic, what do we have? So there is one situation given to you that Devishi has a square piece of cloth of area 100, has a piece of cloth of area 125 centimeter square, and she wants to know if she can make a handkerchief of side 15 centimeter out of it. If that is not possible, she wants to know what is the maximum length of the side that she can make. So what is there? So there is a piece of cloth, and the area of this piece of cloth is 125 centimeter square. This is the area. Now this Devishi girl wants to make a handkerchief, and the side of the handkerchief should be 15 centimeter. Now handkerchief is in the form of a square, right? So to find if she can make a handkerchief out of it or not, what we will do? We will find the square of the side, right, to find the area of the handkerchief. We'll find the area of the handkerchief first and check whether the handkerchief can be made out of this piece of cloth or not. Quickly tell me, can we make it out of this piece of cloth? Tell me, can we make it out of 15 or not? Children, you just have to do the square of 15. I've even told you the trick to find the squares when you have 5 at last.
No, ma'am.
What? No, Harmeen, you don't remember the trick?
No, ma'am. We don't have to do 15 into 15.
Okay, you're telling me the answer that you cannot
Yeah.
make a handkerchief. Okay. So 15 square, you first find 15 square. So we know 15 square gives us
225.
225 centimeter square, which is a much greater area as 225 is much greater than 125 centimeter square. So we only have this much piece of fabric with us. That means we cannot make a handkerchief out of this fabric. Right. Now what do we do? The question asks you, so find the nearest length of the side with which the handkerchief can be made. So what we do over here now, 125. You look very carefully. We know 125 is not a perfect square. In an ideal situation where if the given number was my perfect square, so what would I have done? I'll just find the under root of that number and say, okay, that's the side. But now here 125 is not the perfect square. So I'm going to estimate my answer. Now, how does this estimation work? So you do one thing, you think of the squares of of all the numbers. I told you to learn till 20, right? So just think of the squares of a number which is like closer to 125. So you know 11 into 11 gives you what? 121.
Yes, ma'am.
11 square gives you 121. Let's also check for 12 square. What does 12 square gives you?
140.
140. Now you know that 125 is greater than 11 square and it is smaller than 12 square, right? But what do you think? Where is it nearer to? Is it nearer to 11 square or 12 square?
11
11.
square.
11 square. So can I say that the under root of 125 is approximately 11? Approximately 11 it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the estimation method. You don't have to find the perfect number. You don't have to find the perfect square. You just have to think of a number which is the closest square number, under root number basically. Right. So here also like if she can make it out of 11 centimeter. So the side of the handkerchief can be 11 centimeter. Now similarly, if I ask you that find the square roots by the estimation method of following. If I say for 80, so what do you think for 80 can the square root can be?
Ma'am, approximately 8.
Okay, 8 into 8 gives you what? 64.
64.
But 64 is very, okay, so you know 8 square is smaller than 80. Smaller than 80.
Ma'am,
Also check
9,
for
9 square is,
yeah,
ma'am,
9
9 square
into
is
9.
larger than 80, so we can't take it. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, what?
Why can you not take? See, 9 into 9 gives me 81. So 9 square is greater than 80. Okay. Now what you can do, you think of like 64 and 81 and think of that will be your answer, the number that is closer to 81. So you know 81 closer to 80. So 81 is much closer to 80 as compared to 64.
Yes, ma'am.
The under root of 80 is approximately 9. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next is under root of 1000. Under root of 1000. Mustafa, are you there? Okay. So yeah, 1000. Now you think of the number. See, 15 into 15 was giving you what number? 225. Think of bigger number. 20 into 20 was giving you 400. That is also very small. Let's think of bigger numbers. Let's take 50. So what does 50 into 50 gives you? 2500.
1,400.
That's very. Now you have 2500, right? So that's a very big number. We can't take 50. Let's take 40. So 40 square is
1,600.
1600. Okay. So can you take 1600? No. So check for 30 also in a similar way.
900.
900.
Yeah, check for 30 square also. So 30 square gives you 900. So 900 is much closer. So now you know 30 square is smaller than 1000. So we will also check for 31 square. So let's check for 31 square. You have 961. So 31 square is also smaller than 1000. Let's check 32 square once. You have 1024. 32 square is greater than 1000. And see, 32 square is 1024 and 31 square is 961. So which of the following do you think is closer to 1000? Is 961 closer or 1024?
1024.
Harmeet?
Yes, ma'am.
1024 is much closer. Okay. So that means approximately the under root of 1000 is 32. Alright. So this is how the estimation method works. You just have to think of a number. See, estimation method, since there is no proper way of solving this question, you just have to think and apply. This is like a hit and trial method. You constantly find the square to the nearest number. So this comes with practice. Okay, children. So practice a lot of questions with estimation method. Also from the next class onwards, we'll be doing one more thing. Like once we complete a chapter, we'll be practicing extra questions of that lesson. Okay, since Mustafa also has a different book and also Harmeen also needs to practice a little more questions. So we'll be doing one more thing. We'll be including extra questions from other books as well apart from NCRT. Right, now since this lesson is also completed, so do one thing, children, see square and square roots is a very long and lengthy chapter. It has many concepts, many different small points that you need to remember, tricks and tips that you need to memorize well. So you are going to practice all the questions once from the NCRT and like before the next class, just be prepared with this lesson, right? So that in the next class I can start solving with the extra questions. Will that be fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so come prepared in the next class with this lesson square and square roots. Practice all the concepts that have been covered in the class because the questions will be a little different so that you get a lot of practice. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts as anybody has? Anything, any concept? Did
No,
anybody
ma'am.
find weak?
No, ma'am.
All questions clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, if you want, you can go through the entire chapter once and ask me still if there is any doubt. Okay, please go through it once.